Well, the Leafs are making their final preparations ahead of tonight's do-or-die matchup with the Panthers. The team skated at Scotiabank Arena this morning as they gear up for Game 7. Toronto tied the series with the defending Stanley Cup champions at 3 games apiece after shutting out Florida 2-0 in Game 6 on Friday. The winner of tonight's contest will go on to face the Carolina Hurricanes in the Eastern Conference Final.
I think it's excitement for, our group playing at home here in front of our crowd, passionate crowd, passionate fans, passionate city, but don't get caught up in it, okay? Like, just do what you did in Game 6. It's, we know what to expect from Florida, and that's a great team over there. So, simplify your game. Everybody's nervous a little bit. You just got to get the nerves out. First couple shifts, get going. Just play direct, be direct, and rely on your teammates.
Really special to be in this situation. So just want to be excited, enjoy it, and obviously get yourself prepared for a heck of a game, heck of a battle, and a great opportunity for us. So that's what the game's all about, and playing the Stanley Cup playoffs.
You just want to be in your own building. That's where you feel comfortable. Even just like right now this morning, just I think being here. But ultimately, it's just going to come down to execution and compete tonight. Both teams want it, and both teams are going to play hard. So, once the game starts, it'll feel different.
All right, there you have it. The Leafs are getting ready for Game 7 tonight at home against the Florida Panthers. And right now, we're joined live in studio by John Viveiros, host of Hot Take Hockey. JV, I just want to say this. You called it. You said that this was going to happen the last time that we talked. And here it is.
Here we go, Bakari. I said, after Game 5, and people thought I was a little delusional, Bakari, but I'll say this. I actually thought it was the best case scenario what happened to Toronto, because there was a couple games there, it was close games. I didn't think the Leafs were in it. You take a couple losses in a row, and I just think they needed a wake-up call. And that 6-1 loss on home ice is the ultimate wake-up call. And I just think with the fans, with everything going on, they go to Sunrise, and you get a win. So I just had that confidence after Game 5. As much as people were calling me crazy and everyone was hitting the panic button, I just thought, you know what, they're going to push it back to Game 7 here, and anything can happen in a Game 7, right?
JV, what did you see from the Leafs in Game 6?
Yeah, I saw complete control and a simple hockey game. I think that's the best way to put it. We've seen Craig Berube with his past teams with the St. Louis Blues, with the Philadelphia Flyers. When it got down to it, just a simple game. I know it's a cliche, but off the boards, Bakari, nothing risky. We saw that Mitch Marner mistake in Game 5. That was kind of probably something they just put on the highlight reel and said, hey, Mitch, you're a leader in this room. We can't be making these plays. It's a simple game. Keep them on the edges, and I think at the end of the day, just like round 1, Bakari, it's Austin Matthews scoring the first goal of the game in Game 6 to kind of set the tone for the rest of that third period. So I think once they got that first goal, they had complete control, and Austin Matthews is the captain, right? I think there was a lot of criticism from the city of Toronto when he's not scoring against the Florida Panthers in the second round. 10 career games against the Florida Panthers in the playoffs, and you don't have a goal. Well, he quieted those haters right away with that goal to open up the playoffs against the Panthers, and then, of course, Pacioretty scores the second goal to kind of close out that game.
Okay, so JV, we're looking at highlights. You said this is simple hockey. Is this going to come down to Hockey 101 tonight, winning tonight's game?
Well, yeah, I think they're going to try to replicate what they did in Game 6, Bakari. I'll say this. There's so many factors here to, clutch factor, right? Like, you look on the other side, Brad Marchand's played in the top 10 most Game 7s in NHL history. That's a crazy number. He's on the other side of the Florida Panthers. The Leafs are also 0-4 against Brad Marchand teams in Game 7s. So that's a little bit of a negative aspect, but the demons are here, Bakari, and there's the chance to exercise them tonight. Max Domi, the guy you brought in recently, he's scored in 3 of his career 4 Game 7s. So that's a guy that can do something there. Austin Matthews coming off a goal there. I just think it's a momentum factor thing, Bakari, and the fact that they had that wake-up goal in Game 5. They showed what they need to do in Game 6 to win a Game 7. And I think a guy like Craig Berube, most recently, his last Game 7 was in the Stanley Cup Final against the Boston Bruins, where the Blues won. So he has that most recent experience as well for himself as a head coach. So simple game, clutch factor, and then goaltending. Joseph Woll, what did he do last game? He had a shutout. So I think that's what you need to go into Game 7.
Okay, JV, let's take a look at this, right? Historically, and, this team now, is this the team that's going to do it?
I feel better than I have in past years, Bakari. And that's just not a Leaf bias perspective. That's a team structure perspective. It's a cliche, but do you have the goaltender? Yes. Do you have the best defense crew we've seen on this Leafs era, in the Austin Matthews era? Yes. And the depth is a lot better. I just talked about a guy like Max Domi, who scored a couple big goals in the playoffs so far. A guy like Matthew Nyes, who has actually been determined he's going to be good to go. He had that injury in Game 6, so he's going to be good to go. He's had 5 goals in these playoffs. We always talk about the core four. Where are the other goals going to come from? I just listed a couple guys, but there's other guys that have contributed goals here, Bakari, even from the back end. Morgan Riley's got 4. Oliver Ekman-Larsson has 2. I feel good. I know the city of Toronto, there's a lot of pessimists out there. There's a lot of doubt. But I just think if there was a year for them to really do it and carry that momentum into a cup final, it's this year against the Florida Panthers.
And we're still talking about Stolars.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I don't think, obviously, it's going to be a factor in the near term here. But if they can go past this Game 7, Bakari, and Joseph Woll is going to be the guy tonight, you have your 2 options potentially. But I've been hearing that what Anthony Stolars is going through is pretty significant. So we're going to find out whenever the Leafs playoff ends, but I've heard that it's more significant than we have expected.
What do you want to say to fans?
Kind of what I said. Like I said, I know there's the doubt, even for myself. I'm nervous what's going to happen tonight, but I just think when you look at this Toronto Maple Leafs team, they've never been more prepared for this. And there's momentum coming out of a Game 6 win. I think the fans just need to be positive. The fans in the building need to be behind the team. The Game 5, just put it in your rearview mirror and get a Game 7 win. Exercise those demons.
And the X factor that is the coach, Berube.
Yeah, I think, like I said, Berube, just that calm approach. He didn't hit the panic button. He actually just, after that Game 5 disaster, Bakari, he just went back to his Game 4 lineup. He put Pontus Holmberg back in. He put Calle Jarnkrok back in. I thought Pontus Holmberg had a great game. And in the Austin Matthews era, this is going to be their 6th Game 7, Bakari. That's insane to say. So I think with the stress of everything going around, Craig Berube's mentality and just his demeanor is the perfect coach to have behind the bench.
Your prediction for tonight, Game 7. Let's hear it.
I'm going to say it's very close to Game 6. It's going to be a lower scoring. I'm going to say 3-1 Leafs final.
Say it again.
3-1 Leafs final. Let's see the Eastern Conference final back in Toronto.
All right. And with that, John Viveiros, host of Hot Take Hockey. JV, thanks a lot for joining us. We really appreciate that.